let me ask you a question. What do you think my most popular video is? Maybe you vaguely thought to yourself, probably a League video, right? Maybe you just guessed Lemongrad. Well, no, it's this one actually. A shitpost I made in maybe an hour on one random day. It's not even that good. It also got copyright claimed. Okay, fine. One more. What's my most popular video in the last year? Did you guess a reaction video? Perhaps my only reaction video? Look at this. Incognito, YouTube, Monster Hunter Wilds reaction. Wait, where am I? Oh, there I am. That's right. The thing I put the absolute least amount of effort and time into received the most exposure in my entire last year of doing things. Granted, didn't do a lot in the last year. However, I did start working, explicitly in the last 3 months. During that act of immediately cutting up some stream footage of me watching the Game Awards, and then spending 2 hours or so editing and figuring out what thumbnail I wanted to use, I was only thinking one thing. I know that I'm gonna be really irritated if this does well in any capacity. Well, thanks, search algorithm. I made a good thumbnail that wasn't exactly the same as everyone else's. And hey, we fucking did it. Reception on that video, wonderful. Overall, everyone, similar reaction for the most part. Alongside that, I got a sparing amount of incredibly weird, very negative comments. Not even that many, but I did get called a hypor by presumably some incel. Me getting called a hypor with my single reaction video and focus on Noita content. Now, my understanding of reaction content is that people will go and watch reaction whatever to affirm their own reaction, either with positivity or deep repressed feelings of hatred. I think contextually this is as positive and I want to say acceptable as a reaction video can get. It's a reaction to an announcement or like a trailer, a reaction video of the thing that the corporation wants you to react to. So it's all good anyway. Small, just slightly different thing. If people are out there just going off, making livelihoods out of curating and watching other people's content, they still have the audacity to say they're creating something of value. You laugh or you lose, they say, as they post 15 minutes of sitting in a chair stoically not laughing at yet another Frankenstein string of videos. I've been making content. I've been making some gaming content for like over 7 years at this point, which is crazy to think about. I'm at the point where I pretty much understand a lot of YouTube and, I guess content creation in general. But I'm also fairly certain I have algorithmically cucked myself in a way. I don't really say this lightly. I say that with a pretty good understanding of what my general audience consists of and how YouTube kind of just works. My audience is primarily individual people with interest in an individual game. I tend to have a heavy focus on an individual game for great lengths of time, especially when it comes to content, until I move on to something else that piques my interest, which is happening less and less. Less so, at least for games that I feel like I can make decent content out of in general. But plenty of good gaming experiences, no less. Considering I've built my audience off the back of several different games, that does not make for a good theoretical CTR, or click-through rating. Arguably one of the most important statistics you're dealing with as a YouTuber. It's simply the percentage of people that click on your video when it is presented to them. The value of a CTR is dictated in combination of the thumbnail, title, and whim of, your viewer or audience base. The content, very annoyingly to all creators, is secondary. What I consider my core audience, the people that will watch most of my videos, regardless of what it is, that I would guess, based off analytics, consists of somewhere between 6,000 to 15,000 people. That is my guesstimate. It's been in that relative range for what feels like the entire duration of my YouTube channel's existence, after starting out in even League of Legends. If you're a longtime fan of my channel, you can probably list the 4 games that I've made a plethora of content in. League, Monster Hunter, Risk of Rain, and Noita. Drastically different games. Let's be clear, I don't blame any individual viewer for liking one thing. The problem I'm kind of talking about, my algorithmic troubles, and my just, YouTubing as a whole. The problem I've created with the content I've chosen to focus on or randomly come out with, it's a consequential fit. It's not something I was trying to do. I was just making things, right? Like, I had a interview with a friend from college, and he was writing a doctorate paper. He was doing some kind of study on streamer things, content creator space, etc. Explosion of TikTok. Who knows how deep it goes. The point is, when he was asking me questions, I had an answer that I liked that I gave. Is that I said one of the main struggles for content creators, I think, on YouTube, on TikTok, wherever, is that a lot of them will get pigeonholed into a specific genre or game, and when they shift from that, they lose too much of their audience, and then they never recover. And a lot of that can be part of what I described earlier as the algorithmically cucking yourself. But it's just, it's a matter of people's interest in what they're wanting to watch. It's rarely about, an individual in any capacity. Most content creators, particularly in the gaming space that I know of, have one game focus or one genre focus. And you'll often notice any video that said content creator you've imagined, any video of them attempting to branch out and whatever else, usually does significantly less numbers compared to their average. Speculative from me, but I can also easily relate and pull my own situation in. If you didn't really notice over the years, help, maybe you're new watching this for some reason. What an introduction. Whatever, if you haven't noticed, I don't really like doing sponsored content, as the sponsors typically available to me at any given point in time are usually just kind of shit, whether it's the content that they want me to sponsor or the payment. I also don't want to imply that my YouTube channel is even getting sponsorship offers at this point in time. Like, that's pretty sparse. But sponsorships were something that I just never quite did often. On that note, with ad revenue and Twitch subs and bits revenue and every little additional thing on top of that, it's very likely that I haven't made minimum wage in literal years. I am simply in a position in life where my worst case scenario is failing with little consequence, because my overall financial living situation is just fine. Most people cannot do this as a job without continual success. And to quote a far more reputable person than me, this is an industry that most people will struggle to do full time. I fully agree with that. It's for a number of reasons. I spend most of my waking hours doing, at minimum, something tangentially related to making content or being present in some form on this bitch of an internet. And to still not be making enough, both monetarily and, just quantity of content-wise, is so frustrating. There's no real appropriate work-life balance that can be attained on YouTube or Twitch or content creation until you have this massive following, because it's all fucking uncertain. I don't know what these fucking content creators that get middling success like I've had are gonna do when they need to retire. I don't fucking know. I am personally, I'm financially stable, and I will be until I die, but not at all from money I have earned. Without getting into too much detail, I lost my mom to cancer, after which I then received money. That money is to make sure I can live comfortably until I die, at which point my ashes will be attached to a large firework and burst over a highly populated area. Is that snow? No, that's Ross. That's... I'm a very inconsistent content creator, partially due to just never quite making enough money from this, but mostly because I have ADHD and my passion for thing can come and go at the whim of the army of ginger pale gremlins in my brain. Have you seen my Nordic graph? This is my favorite game of all time, and I still don't want to fucking play it sometimes. It is so easy to burn out on whatever you're doing in this industry. It is entirely too esoteric to continue watching and editing footage of yourself doing the thing you've done 100 different times in several different ways. The only thing that comes out of this is just a pure development of brainworms. It is a uniquely difficult thing to keep up any degree of consistency, particularly when you are doing this on your own as a whole. It is incredibly empowering to have a sense of pride for a piece of content that you've made. I worked on this video for literal months, and the fact that it did well was nothing but a relief to me. I was fucking relieved. That's not what I wanted to feel when I finished the video. I wanted to feel happy and proud of it. Not like, oh my god, I spent months on this, I'm so glad it did reasonably well. That video is what I considered my best piece of work for the entirety of my channel. The fact that it did well probably kept me from going into like a mental downward spiral and just quitting early. It wasn't pride yet, it wasn't happiness, it was just a decompression of stress on something that I was working on. I wasn't fucking happy. God, I hope this video I spent the last several months ideating and scripting, followed by an actual month of editing and revisions, does at least relatively okay. This is not a profession for those with a weak mental state of mind. There's too much to talk about in this industry as a whole. It's kind of a mess, but I would like to keep making videos. It's kind of what I'm getting at. But I also want to make sure I'm streaming like a reasonable amount and not just excessively. I want to keep making content, and I'm probably going to regardless. I want to continue making content in anything I can find just a bit of passion in, and while doing so, I don't want my brain to melt into a puddle. I wish I was exaggerating, but the act of simply like making a Lego Fortnite video lost me subscribers. I know this because I both lost subs from people watching it and more outside of that on the same day. Mainly, I'm just tired of agonizing over kind of pointless shit. In any case, I'm restarting my Patreon. Last I had it was in like 2018 when I was making custom skins. Most recently, I just tried to get my PPP value, my partner plus point value, on Twitch up to no avail. I got decently close. Thanks for the support, everybody. We tried. This is basically an attempt to get to the new accessible subscriber count threshold that Twitch has made available to everyone to get a 70-30 split on subscriptions, both gifted and monthly. I got 263 out of 350. So that's not going to happen anytime soon, and that has to be maintained for 3 months. And my numbers have gone down. So, mind you, I don't want to feel the need to do this, but I do. When I started my YouTube channel, I was working at Enterprise Holdings, and when I quit to move to Colorado, I had to teach a bunch of fucking old people how to use Excel formulas for determining discrepancies over stuff, because they were just fucking individually checking things. It irritated the hell out of me. Fun fact, Enterprise owns every car rental brand. Enterprise owns Frontier, Enterprise, and Alamo car rental. They're all just Enterprise. They're just different brands. If this is news to you, you need to go take a class in marketing. The world is fucking insane. It's a good place to start. Sidetrack. The point is, with Patreon, I can keep up a reasonable amount. I can probably keep up a reasonable rate of production of Noida content. Monster Hunter World content. Let's go. That's coming. That's weird. And I don't really have much plans for doing anything else. But I can tell you I'm going to be playing fighting games and platform fighters. I guess Multiverses is going to come back too eventually. That's going to be weird. But with Patreon, I can keep up a reasonable rate of production on stuff that I think I want to make with significantly less stress. And I can appease the people that are giving me money. I am very uncomfortable asking people for money because, like I said before, I will be okay in the end, regardless of the outcome of this channel. But I'd like to keep making things with reasonable compensation, and I don't think I will be able to do that without you and without Patreon. And if Patreon ends up getting big enough, I can feel comfortable using money to fucking make more content, whether it's with the stream content or otherwise. That's kind of a thing that prevents me from branching out with editors a little more. Getting like a stream video channel that I'm uninvolved with, just stream video editing instead of just the uncut stuff. It'd be nice, but that would cost a lot of money. I've tried to get it done before. It's just not something I could reasonably keep up without, decent finances coming through. Trust me, I have an accounting degree. What I want to be doing, I figured out. I've been here. I'm coming in the near future. I'm going to be far more situated, but that's still 6 to 8 months out. That's when I'm moving into a home, and I'll be out of an apartment, And, you know, maybe you've noticed with my kind of reduced volume of just kind of interactions and just kind of playing games. It's because I have a shared wall. But once I'm a little more comfy and settled down, I'm confident in my content creation kind of picking up from there. But this year, I want to focus on trying to make, you know, some kind of series-esque thing that I can keep consistent. I don't fucking know, man. It's very difficult to just start with nothing. After a lot of years doing this, I'm confident I still want to keep doing it, which is, you know, that's a good thing. It's just, man, I would like to not be losing money doing it. In any case, thank you for watching my etc. amount of content over the many, many years, and I hope you consider supporting me through Patreon throughout the near future. Personally, I'm just excited to have a little credit scene. I don't know if I can keep up with all this shit forever, but I'm gonna do my damnedest. So I hope that you can support me, and I hope that I can bring something of value to the content creation space that's not whatever the fuck's happening to it right now. Well, anyways, see you in Night, see you in Monster Hunter, and fucking play me in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. I'm not asking anymore. You have to do this. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can do it here. I'll give you a link. I would massively appreciate it. I've only got a few tiers available, and it feels a little bare bones. But I am going to have a little credit scene for my future Noita videos. I'm asking for your support so I can keep making content. I don't want to branch out of that too much. In any case, thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and I'll see you soon. Make sure you're on the Discord, too. All the fucking gamers and socially awkward people. It'll be fun.